So, after what it feels like almost a decade now, Avenged Sevenfold has finally released a brand new album, Life is But a Dream. Now, this is a very controversial album, main reason because Avenged Sevenfold has decided to go a different route, a different sound, I would say. We all know Avenged Sevenfold. If you've known Avenged Sevenfold for a while now, been big fans of them. I've been a big fan of them since like 2008 now. I know what to expect from Avenged Sevenfold, but in this case, I didn't know what to expect from Avenged Sevenfold, and that comes to listening to the second single from this album called We Love You, and it's a very, very different song. Nobody, to me, in my opinion, is probably the most Avenged Sevenfold-y song from the album. The rest of the songs completely different. We Love You is chaotic. It juggles a whole bunch of things here and there, and this is the case with a couple other songs, like the first track, Game Over, which starts off with clean guitars, and then suddenly it goes into the heavy stuff, and then back into clean and all that. It's a crazy bonkers way to start the album, but to me, it works. And then you have Mattel, which feels somewhat more aligned with Avenged Sevenfold, but it still feels very, very different. Then we have Nobody, We Love You, and then we have Cosmic, which I thought, at the beginning, it kind of reminded me of the song Crimson Day. At the beginning, it kind of felt like that song to me, but once it got going, it completely changed its tonal perspective and stuff, and it became, well, as the title says, cosmic. Beautiful Morning. Honestly, if I had to pick a worse song of the album, it would probably be this one. It has a section in the song which reminds me of a Alice in Chains song, Them Bones. I like that, but the rest of the song is kind of just okay. Easier, probably one of my favorites, along with Nobody. It has this, I don't know what you call it, they do something with the vocals, like a vocal effect, like it's kind of like dreamy, I would say. Really catchy chorus, and it goes back into the heavy guitar tone. And then we have the last 4 songs of the album, which is what I can describe as Avenged Sevenfold going to church while playing jazz. But in a Avenged Sevenfold way. G, which I honestly think G is like a terrible name for a song. It's just one letter. But I get the whole thing what they're trying to do. Like the beginning of the last 4 songs spelt the first letter spells out God. You have G, Ordinary, and then Death. G starts off like a Dream Theater song. The chorus has these vocals, which I'm assuming they're kids singing. Very weird song. Like I said, it feels like they're going to church with Avenged Sevenfold. And then you have Ordinary, which is a decent song. It's the shortest song of the album. And then you have Death, which is decent as well. Not really much to say on those songs in particular. They're kind of like a anthology of songs that kind of intertwine with one another, even over they're separate apart. And then you have the final song, Life is But a Dream, which is purely piano. Personally, I like it. It is pretty much a good closer to the album, and it pretty much sums up that this is a very different album from Avenged Sevenfold. It's a very weird album. I know that a lot of people are not really fans of this album. They wanted something from like City of Evil, and I understand that, but I don't think expecting Avenged Sevenfold to, go back to a previous sound, it's not really all that case. I know that there's a bunch of bands out there that are pretty much, have the same formula, they sound the same, this and that, but Avenged Sevenfold has been one of those bands that strive to be different in every album, even though but they're still retaining the Avenged Sevenfold sound. And in this case, they completely go off the spectrum in terms of being extremely different. But I still feel like that there's that Avenged Sevenfold thing going on embedded into these songs. And just overall, this is probably the most fun album from Avenged Sevenfold to date. The last album, The Stage, was a good album, but it didn't really reel me in. But this album did, and in my opinion, it's the best album to date. It's not the best album they ever made, but it is the best album to date in my opinion. In terms of a rating, I would give it an 8 out of 10. I was going to give it a 7 because I was still on the fence on some things, but as I listened through it, I just enjoyed it more and more. Tell me in the comments down below what you think of this album. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Would you want some more of this from Avenged Sevenfold? Personally, I don't think so, but it was a nice addition to the overall discography. And yeah, that's about it, guys, and I will see you in the next video.